Okay, this video is Pojman's argument for moral objectivism. He suggests that there's two ways to make this argument. One is to appeal to divine law that works, but he says it's not essential. By that, he simply means to appeal to religion and God to make the case for what is right and what is wrong as an objective truth and reality. What he's going to do is appeal to natural law in order to make the argument. And you'll have to tune in on that term, natural law, and what he means by that. One thing he means by it is that morality is a function of human nature. That is, that what is moral is embedded into the nature of us as humans, and particularly of us living together in a society. And secondly, that reason is capable of discovering moral principles or moral laws. That is, that we can, without relying on God, we can use logic and reason to determine what is right and what is wrong in a society and in a culture. There's two ways of thinking about finding reason, using reason to conclude what is right and what is wrong. One is called a strong absolutist view, and the other one is a moderate view. He takes the moderate view and moves away from the strong absolutist view. The moral absolutism, the strong absolutist views, is assigned to people like Kant, or rather Kant, or Act utilitarianism. Don't worry about those titles too much. But Kant and Act utilitarianism are two approaches to the moral absolutism. So, for example, what Kant said is that we should never do that which we would not want everybody else to do. No act. We should never perform any act that we could not will everybody else to do. Therefore, from Kant's point of view, we should never ever tell a lie or say a falsehood, because if we did, then we would have to will that everybody else tell a lie and say a falsehood. And we cannot will that because that would lead to chaos, a failure of trustworthiness. Society could not function in a condition where everybody was telling falsehoods and telling lies. So what, in essence, is going to happen is Pojman is going to say, that's correct. We should not lie. We should not tell falsehood. The moral principle is correct, but the effort to make it universal denies exceptions to the rule. So those exceptions become a way for him to position that the principle in general is true, but it is not without exceptions. That the norm can have exceptions to it. Or that's Kant's categorical imperative. Always do that which you would will that everybody would do. Then there is utilitarianism, which argues that we should always do that which will provide the most good or the most utility for society. So whereas Kant is focused on the behavior and doing the right thing in relationship to everybody else. Utilitarianism takes a more functional approach and says what is right and what is wrong is a matter of consequence. It's a matter of the effect of the act and whether or not there's utility to it. So, and we can talk more about that, both maybe in this discussion now and in class on next week. So, okay, Pojman's positioning himself as moral principles are universal, but he denies that there are not exceptions. Let me just move forward a little bit here. He's taking a position that's based on reason, rationalism, and it assumes that humans are essentially rational and that reason is capable of discovering law, and that the law, or these principles, are universal and unchangeable. He appeals to Aquinas, who speaks about values as something that are not valuable because we desire them, but we desire them because they are valuable. I'll say that one more time. Aquinas and Pojman are arguing in regards to values that our values are not valuable because we desire them, but rather we desire them because they are inherently valuable. They are valuable purely by virtue of human nature and society. So we go back to telling lies or telling a falsehood, and we value the truth, we value not telling lies and not telling falsehoods because it is in the nature of society that telling the truth and not having everyone just lie at will is good for the human condition, it's good for us individually, and it's good for society as a whole. So Aquinas goes through and he identifies a bunch of other things that are inherently valuable, not because we desire them, but rather we desire them because they are valuable. Desire for life, the sacredness of life, procreation, knowledge, friendship. So we can see what's happening here. Pojman is arguing that all societies and all cultures value these things, and out of these values they make decisions about what is right and what is wrong. And it has nothing to do with culture. It has nothing to do with what we construct. All societies have these high values, and out of these values, out of these principles, we make judgments about what is right and what is wrong. All right, so I'm going to stop there on this video, and then I think I'll make one other one.